Hello, my name is Andrew Dario Riggi, and my presentation for Persuasion is on saving the manual transmission. And while a lot of people do know how to drive a manual, there are a lot of people that also don't, being that it is considered the dying breed of automotive transmissions. I'm going to try and convince you on why you should get a manual, or if at the very least why you should try and learn how to drive a manual transmission. What kind of transmissions are there? There are three main ones that we can talk about, being the automatic, which is the automatic shifting of gears with automatic shifting, being that you put into drive and then it goes through all the gears sequentially. The manual, which is the highlight of this presentation, is the manual changing of gears. So you're the one moving the stick to choose which gear you want to go into. Typically around, it's our most common ones are 5-speed, which is 5 gears, but they're making more 6 speeds, and even Corvette coming out with a 7-speed now transmission. The sequential, which is kind of the least known, is the manual changing of gears with automatic shifting, being you choose which gear you want to go into, and then the computer in the car does it itself, and it changes without a clutch or anything. Automatics are said to be more superior than manuals, just because they can get more gears into them, such as some cars come in 10-speed automatic transmissions, meaning 10 gears in the transmission. Why are they important? They are the main start for the automotive history as a whole, and they really originated back in 1876, where manuals were the start of automotive technology. They were cheap to maintain and they were cheap to build, so they were a great candidate, and we didn't have the technology for automatic transmissions back then. They really help with hand-eye and what I say foot coordination, being that you have to use all 4 of your limbs to drive a manual, and it really gives you a sense of connection. Now, you might be asking, what's the point of a manual transmission? And while there are benefits, such as you can feel a deeper connection to your car, like you are driving a race car, or just wanting to feel cool shifting through gears, there is a little bit more extra care that goes into them. They do last longer than automatic transmissions, and if they were to ever break down, then they are fairly cheap to maintain. And on the slide I do have some basic components of the manual, being the clutch, which is what shifts the gears or helps to shift them, and the clutch cable, which is what moves the actual clutch from the pedal to your foot. Should you get one, it would be unreasonable to say that everyone should get a manual transmission, but I really believe that everyone should at least learn how to drive a manual, just in case you do get into a tricky situation where someone you know that drives a manual needs help getting home, then you would be able to help drive their vehicle home. Whereas if you didn't learn, you wouldn't be able to do that, and they might have to get their car towed, which would cost a little bit extra money. As I've said before, it really is for people who want to feel that connection to their car and feel like they're stuck to the road. Are there benefits? There are many benefits as well as downsides, but I feel that the benefits can outweigh the downsides of a manual transmission, being they are cheaper to maintain and they do last longer, while also giving you that sense of feel of just being able to control your car easier. It feels like you can drive easier, just all going through your head. And with enough practice, you can end up driving it better than an automatic, I believe. And here's an example of a manual transmission with a gearbox and an automatic transmission, being the 4 main park, reverse, neutral, and drive. What cars do come in manual though? Pretty much any car you can think of will come in a manual transmission. There are a couple of exceptions. Electric vehicles nowadays are coming out with solely automatic. This is just because they don't have a transmission in general, so they can only do automatic and like drive, reverse, neutral, or park. There are many cars though that you might not think of that would have a manual transmission, such as PT Cruisers or even Beetles, which is people mostly correlate a manual transmission to a sports car, which is why people don't typically think of PT Cruisers or Beetles, but they at one point in time were race cars that people would drive, and they decided to honor that trilogy, I believe. And are they fun at all? I believe that a manual transmission is one of the most fun ways you can drive a car, being it gives you that sense of control, and it makes you feel cool shifting through the gears. It saves on gas mileage. It helps your brakes out because you're not all like consistently stepping on the brakes at red lights. It just puts less strain on your vehicle as a whole. They do provide more accuracy while driving, being you can choose which gear you would like to go into, and with that being it increases the torque of your car, so you can get up to higher speeds quicker with more ease in a manual transmission. And that's the end. Now, while you might be thinking to yourself that automatics are a great method of transmissions, there are benefits to having a manual, and I believe that everyone should try to drive a manual transmission at least once in their life. Thank you.